I had to do everything myself. My father had to, had to work, my mother had to work, and even then, you know, your father said, oh, you want it? Show how much you want it. I had the opportunity to play in Italy, go to a different country for the first time in your life. It was exciting. I was so happy. For me, the Ballon d'Or was an unbelievable bonus. I never thought of that, winning that. I never thought of that. It's a gift. It's a bonus. Sometimes, yeah, I regret that. But, you know, take it as a man. You did it. It was wrong, but take it as a man.
Ruud Gullit, 6 league titles, 2 European Cups, a European Championship, a host of other titles including the FA Cup as a coach for Chelsea, and of course the prestigious Ballon d'Or award. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm happy with my career. I remember my first coach as a professional was Barry Hughes, came from Wales and was a coach at Harlem. And he always told me, never regret anything you haven't done. So, if you after your career, you know, regret things that you haven't won or you didn't do your best or whatever, you can't go back. So do everything on that moment. And I think that I remembered that. Although you don't realize that so much during your career, you realize it a little bit more after your career.
You're born back in Amsterdam in 1962 and of Suriname descent. What were your experiences like growing up in the Dutch capital?
No, I grew up very happily in a very cozy neighborhood that's called the Jordaan, and that in French is Jardin. All the names have flowers. I was brought up in the Rose Street, and everybody took care of each other. Until you grow up a little bit, 12 or something, that's where you try to realize more that you are different.
Did you play football on the streets at that time?
All the time. And in the Jordaan was difficult because the streets was very, very narrow. I still did it on certain squares, or there was one playground from the school that we could do it. But when we moved later on, when I was 10, 11, we moved to the west of Amsterdam, and there was a huge square, and there I could play every day.
So at what point did you feel that football would become part of your life, and did you know that's where your talents lay?
I realized that, I remember that I played for a small club near the Ajax stadium. I heard them all the time on Sunday, you know, playing in the crowd. And then I moved, like I said, to the west and played some school football, and the scouts were there, and they asked me, and also parents asked me to play for a team that was closer to that area. And that was also a more prestigious club in Amsterdam. So you played against the best amateur club, and included Ajax. And then all of a sudden I was asked to play for the Amsterdam youth team. And I could compare myself to them, to the players of Ajax. And I said, no, it's not bad. I think that I can manage that. And I had everything I had to do it myself, because my father and my mother worked, both of them. So if I had to do something with football, I had to do myself. So training with a bike or the bus, but I had to do it all myself. My father was a teacher, so he had no time to bring me, because most of the time the qualification for the national team for youth was on Wednesday afternoon, like 4 o'clock. And my father had to work. My mother had to work. There was nobody who could bring me. And even then, you know, your father said, oh, you want it? Show how much you want it. Of course, it was different days. And nowadays, you bring your kids everywhere. But sometimes I think to myself, is that the right thing to do? And you can imagine there was not even mobile phones. So if you were gone, you were gone. Nobody knew where you were.
What was that early period like when you put the boots on for the first time alongside other pros?
Now, I was very proud. I was very excited about it. I played with adults. I was 17 years old. Of course, they tried to keep you your feet on the ground. They try to provoke you also, try to make you tougher, stand up for yourself. I come from Amsterdam, and Amsterdam people are, like the Londoners, you're very confident about everything. So I knew what was going on in the world. So it was not so easy to do that with me, even though I was young.
But you moved to Feyenoord?
Yes, after that I moved to Feyenoord. I think that was for me the right, choice to make. Another step, especially because I don't like to go to a place that already is used of winning. What is there for me to add? So, and Feyenoord at that moment didn't win also for a long time. So that was again another challenge for me.
It was at Feyenoord that you won, was it the Dutch Footballer of the Year award and the league title?
Yeah, that was the second year. And that was, of course, unbelievable stuff. Because they haven't won for a long time. You saw also that there was when we won it the year after, was a little bit of a downfall of the team. Also the players that were coming were not, but all the players there was no ambition in that. And then I said to myself, now 3 years I played here, I think I have to make another move. And people warned me already that things are going to change, because people don't want you to make your own decision. They want to decide for you. So when I took the decision, people were so angry.
Who were these people? The fans?
The
manager?
Fans, yeah, the fans. They don't like it. But I had to make my decisions, and I did it anyway. And they warned me for that could happen. If you're a good player, then it's trouble. If you are an average player, you can move whatever you like.
Well, you made trouble for yourself by going to PSV. The rivalry, obviously, in Dutch football is intense.
But I wanted to win. So I went to PSV Eindhoven, and we did.
2 more league titles.
Yeah, 2 in a row. What can you say? I wanted to make sure, that if you have ambition, you have to make the right choices at the right moment. And not everybody likes that, but that is not my problem. I need to go high. If you want to go higher up, you have to make these moves. It's going to be difficult. It's difficult sometimes because of your loyalty but the club is like this. If you're not good enough, where's their loyalty? If you are average, they trade you or whatever. So where's the loyalty? No, the loyalty, they ask always loyalty when you're very good.
So career-wise, PSV, everything's going magnificently.
Yeah.
And then comes what at the time would have been the big break. So how did you feel when you knew AC Milan wanted you?
Yeah, we played at a tournament in the No Camper Stadium. It was a pre-season tournament with Tottenham, PSV Eindhoven, Barcelona and Milan. And I really played well in that tournament because it was for me the first time to play in No Camp Stadium. Come on, crowded. I was like on fire. And I played as a sweeper, and then I played more. I just went forward and everything. I did for everything. And then Milan wanted me. They came also in my room to ask me, but they couldn't speak one word of English. Nothing. Only said you, who, giocare, Milan. Okay. Just get in contact with my manager. And it was like a record amount in those days. 17 million guildens. That's something like 7-8 billion euros, 6 million pounds or something, I think.
Could you understand that in your head, these figures that were being...
No, but I didn't care. I didn't care so much. I thought, people ask me all the time, is there extra pressure? No. I had the opportunity to play in Italy. That was the Valhalla of football. I thought to myself, this is unbelievable. Strange feeling. Go to a different country for the first time in your life. Adapt to their lifestyle, the language, everything. It was exciting. I was so happy.
It was from here, from the period between 1987 to 1994, where you won the Ballon d'Or award, 2 European Cups and European Championships with the national team. Now, that Ballon d'Or must have been particularly special at the time. You dedicated the award to the imprisoned Nelson Mandela when apartheid was still alive in South Africa. What was the response to your gesture?
There was a lot of events against the apartheid, concerts, things on television, on the radio. There was a thing that I participated also.
Free, free South Africa. Okay, free, free South Africa.
And I was also in reggae music, and everything was about, the apartheid, against the apartheid, people who were oppressed, injustice in life. When I wanted to award me this trophy, it was for me the right thing to do, because it was an unbelievable injustice what happened there in South Africa. The only thing is, in Italy, nobody heard about it, nobody knew about it. So therefore, it was like, who is this? So there was a lot of stir after that.
Nelson Mandela himself paid tribute to you.
Yes.
And other people as well who suffered from apartheid. How did that make you feel?
And the first time Nelson Mandela came to Amsterdam, we met each other. And then he invited me to South Africa with the national team, played a friendly. And he said to me, Ruud, now that I'm president, I have a lot of friends. Everybody wants to know me. But when I was in prison, nobody wanted to know me. And you were one of the few friends that I had. So, and, it gives you goosebumps. It's a strange feeling.
It must have filled you with so much pride.
Oh yeah, but it was still now, I get goosebumps of it, because it was like, he's very charismatic. Very, very unique person. So when you meet him, so therefore gave it an extra dimension even when he said it. So therefore he gave me an award, he knighted me, a medal and everything, and that was an unbelievable feeling. And later on also, I met also some other people who were in prison there. And they told me that on the moment that I dedicated it, it went through prison. They knew about it, and they screamed, they yelled all together that it happened. So you cannot even imagine. And they told me that they were afraid that they would take my prize away. So can you imagine, they were still in that regime of apartheid, that you couldn't say the things that you wanted to say. I said, no, that was not even the case. And I said, no, yeah, now we know, but in prison we were so much afraid that they would take it away from you.
A different feeling, and a joyous one as well. You went on to win Euro '88 with a fabulous team that included Marco van Basten, Ronald Koeman and Frank Rijkaard. It was good for that period, but are you slightly disappointed the way your career ended?
Oh yeah, some things, of course, you regret in your life, of impulsive, decisions that you make. Nevertheless, I'm happy about my whole career, what I've achieved. But yeah, of course.
So your one regret?
94, not going to America with the national team. Yeah, I didn't want to go. I was not happy about certain things and took a decision not to go. And sometimes, yeah, I regret that. But, take it as a man. You did it. It was wrong, but take it as a man.
Who was coach at the time? Dick Advocat?
Yeah, and we spoke about it later on also. And we worked together later. Also in the youth, I was in the youth coach of the national team, and he was for the first time, and we worked together. We get along very, very well. That was the crazy thing. He regret later on that he didn't come to my house and talk about it and try to do more of it, but it happened.
And Koeman has found Gullit. Kieft, Gullit, danger here. It's Ruud Gullit. It's a great goal. Magnificently taken. He's back in style.
So that's 3 times runners-up at the World Cup. In your
Yes.
lifetime, do you foresee them ever winning the World Championship?
Look, I'm very proud of Holland, what we achieve in world football, because everybody knows us. Wherever you go in the whole world, everybody knows the Orange Army. Everybody knows the Dutch for the interpretation of the game, the way they play the game. We always provided a lot with some excellent football players who make always an unbelievable impact on that tournament. So Dutch football is doing very, very well. And as a country that small, that is maybe a little bit bigger than London, huh? We do very well. It is a shame that we couldn't win it twice because we're not playing. We were playing against the home team. You know, Germany once, Argentina once. And Argentina was impossible to win, by the way. But Spain was the one we could win. That was the one. We had the best chances in that, but sometimes it's not for you. But I think we made an impression again on the last World Cup again. Nobody expected it, and we did. Was it the best football? Not always. But on a tournament, you need to win. And I think the team did unbelievable well.
Moving back to your club career, you went on to Sampdoria, won a cup, and finally to England, where as a player you won the FA Cup with Chelsea, as a player coach,
Yeah.
I should say. And then was sacked when the team was second in the league.
Yeah, what can I regret? Be second in the league, winning the thing. What do you want from me? But I was hurt by that because Chelsea was my happy times, really. I was so happy in London.
You had your most successful period when you were at Milan. Italian football was thriving, the best league in the world. What has happened since?
You know, a lot of owners, I think it happened with Abramovich. He went there, helicopter, looking whatever. And then the market shifted a little bit. And the biggest problem for Italy is the infrastructure and the stadiums. They are old, still with a track around it and everything. And I think a big problem in Italy is that they sold all the rights also for football. You can just see your game live on television if you want. So people stay home. Why should you go to the stadium? Old, far away from the pitch, no facilities like all the others. And the best example of that is the new Juventus stadium. Because Delle Alpi, how many people were there? Home game, 25,000 when Juve played in a stadium of 75, 80. Now they have a new stadium, new facilities, everything, and it's ram-packed. That is what Italy needs, but there's no money.
Another issue of racism doesn't seem to go away. You experienced it during your career, and there's almost stories every week involving a racist incident in football, whether it's fans or whether it's even on the pitch. Is there enough being done to eradicate it?
Look, everybody does everything, I think, to fight it. It's an economic problem. It's a social problem because it's everywhere. It's among us all the time, especially when the economy is down. People try to they point their fingers at someone. Eh? I've also been abused, but I thought different. I always thought, not that I still think, but that moment that I was there, I know what the reason was why they were doing it. But for me, it was because you are afraid of me. You are afraid that I will score a goal. You are afraid that I'm very good. And that's why you abuse me. You want to intimidate me. So I didn't take any notice of it. I just was doing my thing. And scoring a goal, of being influenced on the team, was the best revenge that I could have. It's up to the federation, it's up to the owners, it's up to the referees to do something there on that moment to protect those who have been abused. That is their responsibility. But I saw it always as trying to provoke me, because if there's a fat goalkeeper, they will scream at him as well. Huh? If there is a red hairy guy, they will do the same thing there. Is that then racism? No. It's just to try to provoke you. If it becomes chanting, you know, because of my color, then it is different. If you make noises as a monkey or whatever, then it becomes different.
Sticking with the issues of race, you were the first black manager in England. I'm not sure how you felt about that. Did you realise that you were?
No, I heard it after that. You know, the thing is, yeah, of course, it happened. You know, I'm very proud of the fact that I won it. I don't want to be seen only because I'm a black. I just want to be seen because I'm a person. I'm just a person that won the FA Cup. I'm happy the fact that I was the first foreigner to win it. That makes me happy. And I also want to be assigned because I'm good, not because I'm black.
But do you think there is an issue at the moment as to people are wondering why aren't there more black managers coaching in England and around Europe?
Yeah, I know. In America, they made a rule of it. But I don't want to be taken because I'm black.
Do you want that Rooney rule implemented in football?
Now,
in Europe?
you see now in America that it's a good mix now of everything. That makes it more credible, the whole thing. Because you can't tell me that there are no good black coaches. They are. Well, a lot of them.
Ruud Gullit?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You will.